Hey guys, Costa here. Today we're going to go over Guardian Ball. This is one of my favorite game types, and really the first one that made me think about Halo in a more macro sense, which is how this rabbit hole started for me. So the first thing we're going to do, similar to Pit, we're going to draw a red line. We don't have a symmetric map here, but there's a pretty intuitive line that gets drawn that way, so across the map. So it splits the map into two halves, one half being green snipe and the other half being gold blue. So let's just kind of simplify this into the different spawn hives. So the first one I'm going to talk about is your snipe spawn hive, and this is absolutely the absolute key to winning this game type is getting your teammates to the spawn. So the spawn that works with the snipe side is your green spawn. So the two here being, it's a good spawn if you already have snipe control, but it could be also the worst spawn in the game. So then the other spawns, there's top, bottom, gold. So we'll just call this 3 for blue here. Top, bottom, blue, top, bottom, gold. Regardless, you don't really want to be over here. We're going to talk about the most common setup and really the stronger of the two, which is the tower and green setup, and we're just going to focus on that completely. It's a lot easier to handle. The blue setup is really only for scrapping time, and if you're really just forced into it because of bad spawns because you weren't doing your job. So let's talk about how to actually get the setup. So in an ideal world, we need to have 2 guys in snipe tower. So let's draw our S for our, one of them would be our sniper ideally, and then another guy just rotating back. And the first step for this setup is make sure you get 2 guys in snipe tower. If you don't have 2 guys in snipe tower, don't try to do anything else until you have 2 guys in tower. Then your ball is going to be on elbow. And your third guy is going to rotate between top green, bottom green, and actually lifting over to camo. So we have one guy here, our ball guy, on the elbow, our sniper either S2 or S3, and a secondary person to help him. So why is the setup so good? Well, I'll just talk about the first thing I noticed. The first thing I noticed playing this game type a lot in Halo Online is people love to bring the ball into snipe tower. And intuitively it seems like kind of a safe place for it, but the problem is if the ball is in snipe tower, the ball guy can't really help at all. He's just kind of trapped in the back. He can't really call anything out. He's just kind of at the mercy of his how well his teammates are slaying. So by bringing the ball to elbow, you are able to keep an eye on bottom mid. You're able to keep an eye on on camo as well, and really look across the map, look underneath, and watch, and be able to call, oh, are they making, is the other team making a push from gauge jumps, the other team going to push up top, down low, and you're able to drop the ball easily, play the ball easily, and you'll be able to work really well with this guy that's rotating between green and camo. So that's your teamwork over here, and then the teamwork on the snipe side as well, so you kind of divide up into pairs in that regard. So once you got your 2 guys in snipe tower, you want to, we'll do our ball stuff in orange. So you don't bring the ball to tower, you bring it to green. It's a short route, you take it here, and you drop off. Very important, drop off. Don't try to jump to top green because you'll get melted if by a late spawn or anything else, unless you know they're getting they're looking from gauge jump from you, they're looking from underneath. So you take it there, and then you just rotate it in this way. Really simple. And then you become your ball guy on elbow. So in order, really, it's 2 guys tower, wait till you have numbers, and then someone's going to go grab the ball and bring it over, and then your last guy's going to rotate into this green position here. So this is our ideal setup. Play the ball if you're in a lot of trouble, or if your teammates in snipe tower die, just play the ball, or maybe rotate it back to green in order just to slow the game down a little bit. There's a lot more advanced plays you can make with lifting it to camo and certain other stuff, but in its most simple form, just think about the setup. We're going to divide the map in half, try to force the opposing team spawns here, control snipe tower, and bring the ball to elbow. Then you just have to respond to either a top push or a bottom push. So on the top push, Your tower guys are staying alive, trying to put shots in, and your green guy is going to be a little bit more passive. He's going to kind of sit back, make sure that the other team doesn't get like a free push on S3, call the weak guys out so they can get cleaned up. The other push is if the other team tries to push underneath. And so if the other team tries to push underneath, your camo guy might have to be more aggressive. So he may have to challenge down here. Maybe your backup guy or your sniper will drop the S1 to look for it and challenge the bottom mid push. And then the third is the lifters, and if your opponents are lifting, everyone's got to shoot them, clean them up, and get them done as quickly as possible. The ball guy can help a lot here by dropping the ball, taking shots across on the lifters by shifting down to lower elbow, and just doing his best to get as many people weak. Just put shots on and let your tower guys do their job. Their job is to stay alive. They're your slayers, and they're the ones holding down your map control. It's all about this spawn. If you get this spawn, you're going to be winning. It just is how the game works. So now, let's flip things around a little bit. Let's talk about if our opponents have this set up, what do we do? So, we're going to be... We have 3 different pushes we can make. My favorite one, and the one Final Boss used a lot in the Dallas 2010 Championship, is just an underneath push. So the trick to this, and it's really simple, like you can do this without a lot of coordination, so it works really well in the more random games where people don't have comms. So you can just jump from gauge jump to bottom gold, push from bottom gold, and the trick to it is you run underneath, and you keep running underneath. You do not divert over to green. If you divert over to green, your team's going to start spawning there. The tower guys aren't going to be able to stop any. The tower guys are going to be alive. The goal is just immediately, as fast as you can as a team. So wait for your team to spawn, then as a group you're going to push underneath and kill the tower guys. Alternatively, you can have 3 guys push underneath and 1 guy maybe be back blue or to lift or clean the guys up when the S1 guys come around the corner. There's a lot of variations, but it's really based off of you need to be able to push all the way underneath to S1 and come up behind them and try to break up this tower. It's all about breaking up the tower, minimizing the effects that the green guy has or the camo guy has, and just getting control of snipe tower first. And then you worry about the ball. Don't rush to kill the ball. Don't get hung up on it. So our another push, green. So we can talk about the top mid push. The top mid push requires a little bit more coordination. The trick to the top mid push is you need to kill the guy in green as soon as possible before you actually make the push. So we're going to have our 2 guys blue room. We're going to have 1 guy camo and someone working with him here. So the general idea is these 2 guys are going to do their best. They're going to pop out together, minimize the effect that the snipe tower guys have, and take their point of view and look at the green guy and shoot him. They should back the green guy down. When the green guy gets back down, this guy will go to camo and clean him up. He'll get that angle. And as soon as he's dead, it becomes a rush to top mid. 1, 2, and 3. These guys can go S3, they can go S2. It depends on what these snipe guys are doing. But the general idea is you need to, as soon as this guy dies, you need to collectively rush over the top and break the setup. So everyone's got to just be moving forwards and going, again, towards tower. Kill the green guy first, but don't go into green. You don't want to have to make this push underneath and down and all the way up elbow, and then you're fighting the guys in tower still on elbow. We do not want to do this. That's really bad. We want to push up into tower first, get our tower control, and then worry about the ball. So the third setup, or the third way to break it, is kind of similar, but rather, and honestly, I find this is probably not going to work that well in Halo Online because of how strong the long-range BR is, especially in 0.6. So rather than having this guy here, we're going to take, actually we'll get rid of another guy here. So we have our 1 top blue, 1 camo, and we're going to have 2 guys lift. And so they're going to hit the lift. This works a lot better if you know that the other team isn't as organized. Maybe if they don't have snipe, or if they only have 1 guy for whatever reason. If they only have 1 guy in snipe tower, this works really well because you're able to get tower control very, very quickly. So the camo guy and the blue guy are going to work together to shoot the green guy down so he can't shoot the lifters. And then what's going to happen is these 2 guys are going to lift. This guy who is on camo shooting green is going to rotate back to top gold. So he has a point of view onto S2 to clean up anyone who backs down from the lift. And this top blue guy is probably going to push S3, S2 as well, as soon as we know this guy's either dead or back down. So the idea of how to break setup is just flooding. Do we want to flood up top? Do we want to flood underneath? And just organizing yourself with your team to back down the support player here. So in reality, I talk about how key it is to stay alive in Snipe Tower and everything else. If you notice, what a lot of these setups depend on is how effective your player is in green or in camo. So I generally like to have whoever my strongest BR on the team is take that position. They're going to end up with more individual fights than anyone else probably, and they have a huge role to play. So just general notes for Oddball: when you have the 10-second respawn, so really wait with your team before you push out. If you're the first guy to spawn, do not get sniped, do not run out top mid, God forbid, or anything else like that. Play it patient, wait for your team, and then make an organized, coordinated push in one direction. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you just need to do something together. So that's all I want to talk about for Oddball. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, post in the comments, and I've been really happy with the feedback from the video series. I'm glad people have been liking it. So we're going to end up doing narrows next. So thanks for watching, and good luck with Guardian Oddball.